Hey guys, Alberto. I want to shoot this video, actually first video since I got back from Mexico City. It's the 2nd of the year, January 2nd. So happy New Year to you. First video in my pool. So glad to be back. It was like 50 degrees in Mexico City. If you just started following me, then you don't know that Grant Cardone, I had a meeting with him. And he asked me to do a program that was the most intense program I've ever done. Ended up being 22 days in a row, about 6 hours a day. Anyways, we'll shoot another video about that. But I wanted to talk about goals. You know, it's the 2nd of the year. Everybody has these resolutions, and kind of a sad statistic is that the average person by February, 90% of average people, which is most people, by February 1st, they're done with their resolution. Like people that join a gym, I'm going to get in shape. By February 1st, 90% of them are no longer going. So, you know, don't go to the gym in January, it's packed, but by February, it's empty again. Everybody quit already. So I wanted to share with you why I am, you know, I epic, is that a word? I completely failed my year-end goal, 12/31. I set a massive goal. See if I have it here. I have a goal card I carry with me. If you know, you owe me or you've been taking my program. And can't really see what it says. It says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning $1 million a month doing what I love. And then I have client results at the bottom. That's the focus, client results. That's all I focus on is how can I get my clients better results? If that happens, everything else happens. But I gotta confess, I didn't even come close to $1 million a month. I didn't even do half of it. So why am I so happy? Well, I did do a little bit over 40% of it. And so there's two reasons why I'm happy. Number one is we doubled revenue last year. Actually, a little bit more than doubled. We more than doubled revenue last year. Isn't that awesome? 72% of businesses in the US, the land of opportunity, lose money or break even. If you break even, you're losing money. So 72% of businesses are losing money. We doubled our revenue. We more than doubled our revenue, which lets us know, hey, we're doing something right. And that is the magic of a system. So there's that saying, right? Shoot for the moon, you'll end up with the stars. That's what I did. When you set your goals for 2019, make it a huge goal. Whether you follow Grant Cardone or Bob Proctor, they all say the same thing. Michelangelo said that the biggest tragedy of humans, of people, is not that they aim too high and miss, but that they aim too low and hit. So make your goals huge. Even if you completely miss it like I did, hey, you'll end up doubling your revenue, maybe even better. So that's number one. Now, the second reason, which is actually more valuable, that I'm excited about it, is that when you set your goal, there's a little bit of a trick. There's a sweet spot. Number one, it has to be so large that it scares the crap out of you. Maybe you get nervous, your hands get clammy, maybe a little nauseated if you're really emotionally involved in it, and you have no idea how you're gonna hit it. No idea. If you know how you're gonna do it, then it's not a goal, guys. It's not a goal. So you gotta think bigger. But the sweet spot is, the tricky part is, it has to be small enough that you believe you can do it. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you won't even go after it, you know? I always talk about my kids, they're awesome, where, like if I give Ryder, he's 6 years old, if I give him a task that he knows he can't do, he just throws himself on the ground and throws a tantrum, I don't wanna do it, and so forth. Adults do the same thing. If you give yourself a task, AKA a goal, that you don't believe you can do, you won't throw a tantrum. You're a lot more subtle, which is a lot more dangerous too. You will rationalize, you will make excuses like, oh, you know, I didn't hit my goal because I had to help my sister move, and I didn't make my goal because my mom is sick and I had to help her. You make these excuses, and they say the only thing worse than an excuse is a good excuse, and you'll end up missing it, not even going after it. So you have to believe that you can do it. That's number two. Number one is, it has to be big enough. You have no idea how you're going to hit it. So that's the second thing that happened, is that as I looked at my goal card every day, probably 50, 100 times a day, I'm visualizing $1 million a month, $1 million a month. Little by little, the plan started coming to be. And so today, I'm very happy to announce that I know exactly how I'm going to get to $1 million a month. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I have a blueprint, I have a plan, all planned out. I know what my next steps are, which, by the way, we're hiring. We need 2 more consultants, 2 consultants as well as another community manager. And so I know exactly how I'm going to get to $1 million a month. Now it's just a matter of getting busy, getting uncomfortable, taking massive action, and going to do it. So I'm gonna get out of my pool here. Make 2019 your bitch is what I've been saying. You know, really go after it. Make some big goals, guys. No matter if you're in the insurance industry like we are, wherever you are, make some big things happen. Go after it. Get uncomfortable. And we'll see you from the beach. So happy to be back. See you on the next video.